Alrighty, welcome back to Robots Attack. Here, the E3 we've been discussing. We went over the different conferences, what companies have brought up, some of the things we were interested in, and now we're just going to do kind of a wrap up, brief, nothing terribly long, but just some of our thoughts, maybe some positives, maybe some negatives, and end it with maybe our three things we're most excited for or something. But yeah. So gentlemen. This E3, what are your thoughts?
Um, it. I've never seen before where one of E3 was so divergent from what seems to be the general consensus. It sounds like as much as people liked a lot of the stuff in it, that generally the big commentators out there thought that this was a really lackluster E3 for some reason, and I don't get that. I stuff that I really loved. I mean, there's not a big like new generation of console, but I mean, to me, having the new Xbox One X kind of blurs that line. So, granted, it's targeted almost specifically at me, so maybe that's a bigger deal for me. But just in general, I felt like even if they didn't bring their A game, they brought stuff to the table that was really genuinely fun and interesting to look at. So I was not disappointed. It was a neat show in general.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I was not disappointed. The big three conferences, I liked at the very least, two different, and some more with others. But there was nothing that was like, oh, warranted. Like, oh, this is a crap E3. This was fantastic. There was a lot of diversity, not just on Microsoft's end, but throughout the whole E3 experience. I was able to appreciate a lot of these new IPs that are coming out, or basics platformer games that I really like, and they announced some fighters. They did pretty much everything. If you're not a fan of something in this E3, then you gotta shake your head, because there's something for everybody here. It's unbelievable. The only negatives I'll quickly say is that is we kind of touched up on it earlier with the Sony press conference, but I felt that them panning to the crowd all the time after announcement, I feel it actually hurt their press conference, the presentation.
Oh yeah.
At least to me,
Yeah.
Like I felt they had a lot to cheer for, and it just the way it was presented, it seemed like Sony fans weren't interested in their product. It's like, it's not the way you should be selling your product there. So I felt like in that regard, it hurted a lot, the presentation, because we obviously went through it already, and we discussed that there are some quality games from the press conference from Sony. So there's no reason for that kind of like from that. So
we should not be seeing apathy from anybody.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like it in general when they're showing whatever trailer or something, and like they pop out from it being full screen and just like it's the camera like showing the giant screen. I'm like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Go back to the full. Like, why did you pop out? Like, you're not showing me the crowd. You're not showing. It's just like, here's an image of the screen on the stage. I'm like, no,
Yeah, the Spider-Man was like taking that up to 11 too. That was the amazing part. It's like, like, so they start out with a gigantic, absolutely beautiful image of Spider-Man's version of New York, and it was just like, okay, that looks pretty cool. And then a screen like inches slowly in from the side. It was like, okay, I don't know what's happening here. And then it turns out that was where the presentation was actually coming from. Was this other smaller screen that came in? It was like, I don't know what's happening here. What was the point of all that? Why did I need to see it? It's
Yeah, it
weird
kills
enough that you
the.
guys did it in the first place.
Yeah, but now, yeah, they have to do that. Yeah, to me, it kills the immersion when, like you said, Django, when it's like it pops out from like full screen to like, sort of the screen and a little bit of the stage. It's like we're watching from a computer. We're not there. We want to see like full
Yeah,
screen, you know?
Yeah,
Because especially
yeah,
for games that you're like really passionate about, and you're like, man, I want to see everything I can take in from the story to whatever they're showcasing, and it's like stop popping out. I can't see it. It's that yeah, that's definitely a peeve of mine as well in that regard. And
yeah,
I
yeah.
and I
I know a lot of
yeah.
people complained about the same thing in Ubisoft's conference, with specifically them jumping to Assassin's Creed showing gameplay on like a monitor outside. It's like
Oh
yeah. I remember
yeah,
that.
it's like I
that was
think I know what you're
yeah.
going for, but yeah, it's not working, guys. At least in a smaller like picture in picture, show us what's happening on the
Ugh.
screen. It's cool that you're showing us this interaction, but it was really frustrating. And I would have been outright angry if it wasn't for the Microsoft conference where I saw like actual footage of this game. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt really low
Um,
budget. It was just like anyone just grab a camera, put it in front of a screen that's really small, yeah, and there's glare and
yeah,
everything else. Like, wow, this is not doing anything for me right now.
yeah.
yeah.
I think they were shooting
Yeah.
for authenticity, but it didn't come off.
No.
Yeah. I would say it was a good E3 too. I think maybe what happened was like the past couple E3s were so many like huge announcements of games that still aren't out yet, but there was
Yeah,
just all this hype like across not just Sony. Like Sony is probably really big in that, but I think like from everyone had at least a couple the past couple years that were just like these huge announcements of games and it was just all this hype and huge like and this one was just like okay, here's some of the games we showed last E3. They're actually coming out like either the end of this year or the beginning of
Yeah.
next year. So it was
Yeah.
kind of like, yeah, you're still excited, but there weren't, apart from like Anthem and some of the others that were just, brand new out of left field. Like
hmm,
well, a lot of these games we already knew about, so I can kind of see maybe like that might be where people thought the conference wasn't as big as previous years. Like I still would say it was a good conference
yeah,
because, like we mentioned, lots of variety, and
Yeah.
I would rather have like I think it's better when you have like a mix of some games that aren't coming out yet, but also some that are coming out soon. Like not just like everything we're showing isn't coming out for like 4 or 5 years or something. Like I
yeah,
think I'd rather have the mix, but yeah, I kind of wonder if that was some of the some of the negative or brought on some of the negativity of just the past couple E3s have just been like, oh my gosh, this reveal and this and the way they revealed it was just so epic or like Resident Evil 7, like the way they revealed that
Oh
one was
my
pretty
God.
awesome.
That was
That was
so
like, holy
good.
crap.
Oh, I I
But
was like squealing when I seen that last year. It was so good.
yeah, and I mean that's a game that has come out, but yeah, it's just stuff. I think maybe we're we got hooked on all that adrenaline hype, and now it's like, oh wait, but yeah, I would say I still thought this was a solid conference all around from everyone, which was nice. I'd
yeah,
say
Yeah.
maybe for me the weakest ones were Bethesda and like Sony. Like they had like some solid stuff, but it was stuff again like maybe we'd already seen or like I don't know. I think
yeah. There wasn't a whole lot of spirit and excitement in those two. And
Yeah.
even though
Yeah.
Bethesda tried to fabricate it by like making their own festive land.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if that's maybe like they knew they like again not to like say Wolfenstein 2 isn't like a big game or Evil Within 2 isn't a big game, but I do sort of wonder if they thought, well, we don't have like a Fallout or an Elder Scrolls or like a brand new like there's rumors of them maybe doing a sci-fi kind of role playing like
Yeah,
sci-fi space kind of role playing game like Fallout and Elder Scrolls. Since they didn't have anything on that scale to announce, I wonder if maybe they thought we could do this Bethesda land thing and kind of like showcase our like all of our properties and stuff. But
yeah,
Yeah.
and they add a little bit of fun to it. I think that was
yeah,
the big thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that again, like we'd mentioned before, I think that came off a lot better to people that were there compared to people
they were
watching it
there.
outside, because that
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
atmosphere was way more festive and a lot more immersive for the people that got to experience like the
Yeah.
the unique free drinks and snacks that go along with the unique lands for all of these places. It sounds like it was a really cool event for that stuff that we didn't get a taste of.
Yeah.
I wanted that past blue ribbon in a paper bag.
In a paper bag. Yeah.
I'm tempted to go out and get some just to
And
get that
just
experience.
Oh, there you go.
make my own Bethesda land
Right.
Yeah.
at home.
Just mumbling it to yourself drunk. Make my own.
Yeah.
Drink like
Yeah.
your third Pabst paper.
So, do we want to do any kind of shout outs before we do our closing sort of top three and stuff,
Uh,
or did
Oh
anyone
yeah.
else have any other thoughts before?
the only other thing I wanted to say, it was in regards to Microsoft, was um I was I was a little bit shocked that they didn't have any sort of teaser or anything for Halo 6. Um,
Yeah,
I
a lot of
figured
people
with an
were.
announcement of like a semi-new console or whatever you want to call it, an upgrade, that I figured they would
Mm,
have like something to end the show like Halo-wise, like a teaser, a title screen, whatever. I was kind of shocked that there was nothing of Halo 6. And it's nothing bad or good. It's just a little bit more
mm,
shocking to me that I kind of felt that, like, oh, with a new introduction to like a kind of new console, you would have thought like Halo would have really topped it off for Microsoft, some sort of
Yeah.
teaser or something, but didn't happen
My
that way.
my suspicion is that they're realizing that Halo is weakening as a brand, even though they made a pretty solid game from a lot of standpoints. I think they realize it doesn't have the punch that it used to. And on top of that, we just don't know how far out that next game is. So maybe they're just not even risking getting people's hopes up too quick.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean that's really all I have to say about that. So we
Well, sounds good.
do shoutouts, I guess, then.
Oh
sure.
yes,
Yeah. Anything.
let's start shouting. This is the shoutcast portion without shouting because I have forbidden it. Okay, so first shout out, and I'll just keep it quick on this one. Artful
Yes.
Escape. Is guitar platforming. I did not expect to ever want that, and I want that. So yeah, enough said. What
For
else we
me,
got?
Ashen. I think it looks the visuals look really cool. The art style is awesome. Apparently it's supposed to have something like a Dark Souls-esque battle style. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's
Yeah.
gonna.
I
So
found out some stuff about that. Like it's I heard someone compare it to Dark Souls meets Journey in
Yeah.
that
Okay.
you play co-op, but like you don't know you can't communicate like vocally, voice chat or anything with the
Uh,
other person you're playing with, and
that
it doesn't
explains the
show their
faces. Okay.
yeah, and it doesn't show their gamer tag or anything like that. You can use like
Ah.
Journey, you can do like kind of emotes, like certain little things to communicate, but it's all just like you're going through this thing with some kind of like a stranger in a sense. And
Mm,
yeah, like they did say you can do it like offline with AI, like an AI controlled
Mm.
person will go in with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounded interesting because like that was a really neat thing from Journey. Like when I played that, like I had a couple instances where another little Journey person popped in with me, and yeah, I had some cool moments and like not being able to like actually communicate or see the person's name. It's just it does actually it creates this really unique experience, and so on a kind of complete flip side from Journey, like with the game like this, like it'll be curious to see how that plays out. This is kind of the darker atmosphere and everything, and
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was looks great. Um, I I'd have to go with Ori 2 and the Will of the
Yeah.
Wisps. That the that performance, the music, the visuals, everything about it. Like I I was almost like tearing up watching that video of Ori. Like at the end when it shows the owl looking sad down at the feather
oh
and then
yeah,
Ori
Yeah.
walking in and then seeing it look like it's like maybe ancestors of the owl or something kind of in the background, and then the music came in. It was just like, oh man, this is so emotional, so
Yeah.
emotional. So
yeah,
yeah,
they're
I can't wait for that.
they're quite good at that, like capturing
Yeah,
that emotion.
Yeah.
yeah,
And they've upped those visuals like way farther than I expected them to be able to, because that first game was nuts to begin with.
yeah.
Okay, I
Um,
have a couple of like quick ones. Cuphead finally gets a release date, and I'm really
yeah,
looking forward to being able to play and see what their platforming ends up like. Because yeah, I've liked the style of that game for a long time. Um, but the other one that I'd feel remiss not bringing up is the Dragon Ball Fighters. Just because did not expect to be. I didn't expect the game to begin with, and let alone to be as sold on it as I am. Because
Yeah,
from what I've seen, the fighting system of it is real simple and elegant, but still allows all of the crazy stuff that you see in Dragon Ball. And
yeah.
I'm I'm really interested in seeing firsthand how that turns out.
Oh, and in case you're wondering, Cuphead is coming out September 29th, 2017, for anyone who didn't catch that date.
Oh, 2 days
what? Not
later.
October.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Anything
just
for you?
mention
Yeah.
briefly just the new Metro game. Like I kind of
Yeah.
heard some rumblings of maybe them doing another Metro, but yeah, this surprised me them opening up with it, and uh, I liked how like it's not just it kind of did the switch where usually when you're underground you're not wearing the mask as much unless you go outside, and in this it was like the flip, like the guy
Yeah.
was wearing the mask while he was underground, and then when he got outside he took it off and he could breathe, and it just looked it's like, oh
Yeah.
sweet, like the world it returning a little bit, and I'm assuming that's going to mean you'll have more types of locations to explore, and I'm sure that that train will play some part in it too. And
Right.
yeah, I'm excited to jump into that one.
And backed by the power of the One X, it looked phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
The
Yeah.
detailing on everything that was nice.
Yeah.
Uh, the last shout out I'd like to give actually is not actually a game, but it's the OG Xbox backgrounds.
Oh yeah.
Mm, yeah,
That
Yeah.
very
that
cool.
yeah, that to me was I almost expected it because a couple of years ago when they announced the 360 one, I remember like in an interview early on, they were like, "Oh, someone asked about the original ones," and they're like, "Well, it's not a top priority, but it's something that we could do in the future." And I figured now it's been 2 years, they've covered like a lot of the big 360 titles at this point. A lot of them. There's still a few, but
Mm,
they've covered quite a few. They have like what close to 400, maybe 500 games now. Backwards compatible. I think it's almost 400, and
yeah, I think so.
so it's natural to go back and see how many OG ones they can get. They did say that there's not going to be as many because of
Yeah.
licensing and stuff like that, but it's still nice that they're going back to it because I still have a fair collection of OG Xbox games, and I had mentioned this to a friend in Jason here that this potentially gives me the opportunity to do a retrospect of all the Dead or Alive games because the
Yeah.
Ultimate 1 and 2
Yeah.
and Dead or Alive 3 is on the Xbox, and I still have that. So now, if fingers crossed that becomes backwards compatible, I can go through it all. So that I'm very excited about that. So far, they have Crimson Skies and Fusion Frenzy as the two that are going to be backwards compatible, confirmed.
Yeah. People lost
Yeah.
their mind over Crimson Skies. I was
Hmm.
amazed. A lot of that.
And I have Fusion Frenzy. I like that a lot. It's like
Yeah,
a
I've got
Mario
it.
Party-esque game for the OG Xbox. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah, I've still got a few of mine. I've got the Dead or Alives. I've got the
Oh, okay.
Republic Commando. I've got
Oh
the
right.
Knights of the Old Republic, and then Metal Arms was a lot of fun.
Oh,
But
nice.
yeah, so that should be cool. We'll find out more of that, I'm sure, in the coming months.
Yep.
All right, so we wrap it up with our top three. I know this was difficult.
Oh, was
One
it
of
ever?
mine may have even changed.
Oh,
But,
What? Is
wow.
that even
yeah,
allowed?
but well, I don't know.
Damn.
But yeah,
Okay,
okay. So
I'll start with mine since I have mine like quicker than the rest of you guys. So,
mhm.
or do you guys want to rotate them, or should I just go for it?
nah, just
Okay.
go for it.
Just all at once.
Okay, so yeah, number one is Anthem. We already talked about it extensively on the Xbox side of things, but yeah, it looks super impressive on the visual side. It's definitely going to push the Xbox One X hardware to its limit, and it just has a really cool combination of genres that it's putting together like beautifully. So really looking forward to that. Next up, I have Battlefront 2. I wasn't expecting to be as sold on this one, considering that what ended up selling it for me was something that people hated about it, and that's the presence of droids. Super battle droids are a big yes for me. I want to play as super battle droids for the rest of my life. And finally, just the the reveal and all of the amazing juicy goodness that's going to surround the game in the coming months is beautiful to me, and that's the Beyond Good and Evil trailer that they ended up dropping. I love all of the personality in that trailer, and if they manage to get that game to capture that personality, they're gonna be really well off. So yeah, that's it for mine.
Okay, I guess I'll.
Yeah.
Go for
So
it.
my three in no particular order because I it's hard enough getting three, never mind ranking them. Um, so I'm gonna go with Assassin's Creed Origins. I already kind of hinted at that with the pre-order. I
Yeah.
think going back to its roots and original roots and origins, telling the story and the backdrop of Egypt, all these other new mechanics that they've added into it. I've always been a fan of Assassin's Creed, and hasn't changed it at all. They need to redeem themselves, Ubisoft Montreal, for the Assassin's Creed series. So I think they're going to do it after the break they've had. So that's one of them. My second one is from the Switch, the Super Mario Odyssey. Um, if you haven't known by now, I like platformers, and
Yeah.
this one is probably top
The
tier as far
king.
as platformers go. Yeah, so I really like what they did with trying. They encourage people to explore, do crazy things, find new things. The mural with the 8-bit retro thing going up different towers and other things. I thought that was really creative. The art style is neat. Yeah, it's got me hyped. And Switch, and we don't know much about it, but it's one of those ones, the Pokemon RPG. It's one of those ones where I said, it only makes sense to have it now that it's a portable system, and it's something
Mhm.
I've wanted for since like 1998 when Pokemon like started exploding in North America. And it's like no joke. I've been wanting a console RPG of Pokemon since then. So
Uh-huh.
obviously this has to be a big one for me. So that rounds out my three. So we'll see.
Cool, cool.
Alrighty. Yeah, I guess for me, no real particular order either. I'm gonna go with Anthem. Same stuff that Jason said, same stuff we mentioned in the Xbox thing. It just BioWare, brand new world, looks awesome. Give it to me, I'm ready. And then Battlefront 2. Having not played it and only kind of going by the gameplay stuff that they've shown, I like the new system that they're going for. It sounds like there's going to be way more customization, more variety of troops, especially since it's all three eras. I like the hero system is no longer like a token you have to find; it's points, so it might have a better chance of getting heroes that you want. And the campaign sounds really cool. And then I'll go with the Life is Strange prequel.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, really enjoyed the first one, and I look forward to jumping into this and seeing what they do with Chloe and the music and the style and everything like that. So,
Yep.
Cool.
yeah.
Solid
Yeah.
choices.
All right. No, sounds good. I think we're all. It's a good time to be a gamer, as they say. I
Yeah.
think there's got some good
Absolutely.
stuff
Yeah.
coming. Uh, all right. So yeah, thank you all for listening. That's gonna do it for this special Robots Attack episode. We're wrapping up E3 here. We got. If you want to go back and listen to us talk about all the different companies, their press conferences, and what they talked about, and everything like that, we'll have links and broken up into segments. Or if you're want to listen to the whole shebang, that'll be one giant file also. But yeah, um, go to robotsattack.me. Follow us on there. You can follow us on Twitter. Robots Attack Robots Attack Me. And yeah, Kain, thank you for guest starring on this special episode. I hope you had a good time. I had a good time. I think I can probably speak for Jason. I think we had a good time having you here. So,
It was okay.
Absolutely. I
so
appreciate having the opportunity to because I also had a lot of fun talking about all these great games. So appreciate it.
yeah. So where can people find you? Because you do playthroughs and stuff like that. So where?
Right. So my Twitter's at Kane_27. and that's generally where I'll post my content. Or if I ever get back into streaming, that's something where you can look at me for. And then also I'm doing playthroughs on my YouTube channel right now. I'm locked in Ukulele and Trulon the Shadow Engine, so that is YouTube Kain 2K7. So be sure to check that out.
I'm gonna go. We'll post some links in the description, all that stuff too. So just in case people are wanting to write it down or stuff like that. But all right, gentlemen, thank you all. I think this was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And,
Good job, guys.
Thank
Yeah,
you all
thank
for
you.
listening, and yeah, hit us up. Let us know what some of the things you enjoyed from E3, some of the things maybe you didn't enjoy, or just your general thoughts on this 2017 E3. But,
Yeah. Tell us so we can disagree with you thoroughly, yell at you, or maybe agree with you. We'll see.
We got to shout
Yeah.
out them.
Yeah. Alrighty, everyone, take it easy.